Before the invention of signs to represent riches, wealth could consist in little but lands and cattle, the only real possessions men could have. But when inheritances grew, spreading across the land, bordering one another, one man could grow rich only at the expense of another. Those too weak or too indifferent to make such claims grew poor without ever losing anything. For while everything changed around them, they themselves remained the same. These men were forced to beg their subsistence or steal it from the rich. And this soon bred, depending on character, dominion and slavery, or violence and rapine. The rich, once they tasted the pleasure of command, disdained all others. They trained their old slaves to acquire new ones, and thought of nothing but subduing their neighbors. Like ravenous wolves, who, having once tasted human flesh, despise every other food, and henceforth seek only men to devour. As both the powerful and the miserable claim the property of others as their right, the destruction of equality gave birth to the most terrible disorders: usurpation by the rich, robbery by the poor, the unbridled passions of both. Natural compassion fell silent. Justice, still only a whisper, was drowned in avarice, in ambition, in vice. Between the title of the strongest and the claim of the first occupier arose perpetual conflicts, resolved only by blood. The new society birthed not peace, but a state of war, and men, harassed, corrupted, no longer able to retrace their steps, clung to the very ruin they had created. At some point, men must have reflected on their misery, especially the rich, who, though they commanded, bore the cost of constant war. They knew deep down that their wealth rested on precarious and false titles. "I built this well," they said. "I worked this field. But who gave you your standing? Who gave you this right? Do you not see that your fellow creatures starve for lack of what you have too much of? You should have had the express, universal consent of mankind before taking more of the earth's subsistence than you needed for yourself." In mortal fear, the weak offered their necks to the powerful, hoping that subjugation might preserve their liberty. All ran headlong into chains, thinking they would be saved. Too simple to see the danger, too proud to question it, and those who could see it were those who would profit most. Societies formed in this way spread rapidly. They soon covered the earth, leaving not a corner of the universe where a man could throw off the yoke. Then came despotism, raising up her hideous head, devouring what little remained sound and untainted. People no longer had leaders, only tyrants. And from that moment, all equity vanished. All goodness disappeared, and man returned to the only law still left to him: the law of the strongest.